here around Chavis Park, this is what you're going to see. You know, tree limbs and downed trees pretty much everywhere you look.
It's still pretty windy here, but nothing like what blew through here yesterday. If you take a look behind me, we're outside of Person High School in this flagpole.
If you take a look over here beside me, this is Coates Auto Body and Paint, where just a tarp is protecting this place. You know, the roof ripped off here during the tornado.
Not too many drivers out here this morning, and that's probably a good thing. I'm going to show you why. Take a look just where we're standing. You can see the shiny stuff, the black ice.
Representative Elmer says she'll be working hard to bring jobs to North Carolina. On average, you're spending about $10 more if you're traveling this holiday weekend to one of those destinations. So what does that equal to? Maybe a couple of these coffee drinks or even a movie ticket.
See a lot of the damage still here behind me.
To Ivan Castro, this is more than just a shoelace. It's one thing that keeps him racing. The other, people like Lieutenant Colonel Fred Dumar.
I can't run step without someone.
That's because Castro is blind.
On September 2nd, 2006, you know, the man up above decided that he had a different mission for me, a different purpose.
Before that day, his mission was fighting the enemy, but on a tour in Iraq, he came too close and a mortar round exploded 5 feet from the longtime soldier.
The blast had broken my nose, my right cheekbone. I had enucleated my right eye. A fragment had went to my left eye and landed on the retina.
2 soldiers in his unit were killed. Castro was near death, and when he got the news about his sight, he thought about dying.
You wish you really would have died. You know, you feel like your whole world ends.
But like a soldier, Castro carries a warrior ethos. So after spending months recovering and literally learning how to live again, Castro laced up his shoes and his partner and started running.
Yeah, this is the BRD Whiskey 1.
What's that mean? Blind
running device white.
The two have completed almost 9 marathons together and even a 50-miler.
It's hard to have a bad day when you're around Ivan. It's almost like relentless enthusiasm and relentless zeal for life.
Castro hasn't given up on the Army either. He works at the Special Operations Recruiting Battalion at Fort Bragg and also counsels wounded soldiers back from war zones.
I try to walk into their room and tell them that life is not over, but they got a new beginning.
Castro doesn't just run. He cycles, hikes, skis.
I enjoy pushing myself to the limit and going against the odds.
Castro's vision of the future involves being an inspiration for fellow soldiers, runners, and anyone living in his shoes.
There's nothing I cannot do.
At Fort Bragg, Maggie Alexander, NBC 17 News.
It's such a heartbreaking story. You know, the woman was home alone with the 4 children when the storm hit, and police say she did everything right, but the storm was just too powerful.
A neighborhood is mourning the loss of 3 young lives.
They're loving kids, they're beautiful kids, and the world's a sadder place today.
Raleigh police say the 3 boys, Daniel, Kevin, and Oswaldo, were killed instantly when a tree fell on their mobile home.
I actually went up to the mobile home where the children were killed. It's really bad. It's unlike anything I've ever seen before.
A woman was home with all 4 children when the storm hit. Police say her 9-year-old son and the 2 nephews died, and her 6-month-old daughter is in critical condition.
She gathered the children together and directed them to a closet inside the mobile home, trying to do the right thing. She actually did everything right, but unfortunately, a large tree fell on the mobile home, just doing catastrophic damage. There's nothing that she could do, nothing that could be done.
Police evacuated the mobile home park Sunday. Many residents, like Leo Obera, took shelter at Heritage High School.
And I don't know when we're gonna come back, you know, because they don't tell us anything yet.
As you can see behind me, police have been on the scene here all night. They're not allowing anyone inside. A little later this morning, though, they will reevaluate the situation to see if it's safe to allow residents back in. We're told there are about 200 mobile homes in this unit or in this lot here, and about half of those will likely be condemned. Sharon, back to you. Good morning, Penn. Advocates say these synthetic drugs are becoming a big problem in the state, so they're hoping this legislation will solve that and also save lives.
They're known as K2, bath salts, and plant food, and mimic the effects of drugs like cocaine and marijuana.
People think they're safe, when in fact, in my opinion, they're probably more dangerous because of the lack of quality control in manufacturing them.
North Carolina joined a growing list of other states outlawing these substances. Elizabeth Hudgens was part of a team of advocates that worked to get them banned.
This is good for North Carolina because these are nasty substances, and the fewer people who use them, there could be less death, but definitely less injury and less negative side effects from people using these bad substances.
Officials say it was a methadone overdose that killed 2 NC State students last October. Their bodies were discovered on a fire escape outside their apartment in Raleigh. Hudgens says the popularity of these synthetic drugs was growing dangerously fast.
First of all, we wanted to stop the growth. There were as many reports in the first 2 months of 2011 as the General Assembly was discussing this as in all of 2010.
Now anyone caught selling or making these substances could face felony charges.
Now, I also talked to Hudgens about enforcement, and she said SBI agents are already working with local law enforcement officers to train them to be on the lookout for these drugs. For now, reporting in downtown Raleigh, Maggie Alexander, NBC 17 News. Penn.
So enforcement's a challenge. Also, are there other ways to get the drug even though the state has banned it?
Well, yeah, that's another problem, is that you can still buy these substances online and in other states, but the bottom line is that it's illegal to have them, so you could still face punishment. Penn?
There you go.